Turn me up just a little bit. Yeah, it's that man space vibe. Step in the zone, microphone check. Russ and Les got the real intellect. Talk smooth like jazz on a late night set. With a convo deep and the topics connect. From the struggles to the wins, they address it with grace. Drop lines so cool, you can feel the bass. Two kings of the craft, and you know the rest. Kick back, pour a drink, welcome to the space. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. Hang out, cause now you vibing with nothing but the best. Space forever.
Welcome into another edition of the Manspace Podcast. Now, this is the voice of Russ, and with me, as always, a man who loves this time of year because he loves to frolic, the one and only Big Les.
Oh, man. Oh, you're back. You are back, sir. You are back.
Yes.
That's a representation of me frolicking in the wilderness. I see. It seems.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Have you seen those videos with the guys that go out there and they say, "Oh yeah, let's go and frolic," and they'll just run around and they'll go rolling down the hill and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, that's not in my timeline. Unfortunately, no. No.
It will be now because we're talking about it.
Oh my God! I'm frolicking.
Why y'all ain't tell me we was frolicking?
I'm still frolicking. Still frolicking. I'm still frolicking.
Your
doubt.
phone is listening.
No doubt. But yeah, we're not used to just frolicking around.
Yeah.
I have to move with purpose, unfortunately, because my wife will not allow me to sit still.
Well, speaking of moving with a purpose, I went and I rejoined the gym.
Oh, did you?
I've been out of the gym for some years, so I went yesterday. And joined the gym, right? So I went in there today, got a good workout in, and I want to ask you your thoughts on this situation, right? So I finished my workout.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, I'm going to go to the sauna, right? Because I always love finishing my workout in the sauna, right? I walk to the door and I glance and there's a guy in there butt naked.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. So I would have had to walk past him to get to a spot, or he would have had to move over to allow me to sit in his butt juice.
That's not my scene. Yeah. No.
Okay. I turned and left.
Yeah.
So
I would have just got a steel chair and went and sat in my shower with the steam going. If that's how you want to be, that's how I'm going to do it. I mean, everybody got their own thing, and I don't knock nobody for it. My dad, at the tender age of 80, still goes and gets a steaming sauna at the gym. Yeah. And I've always asked him, and he doesn't catch it because he doesn't expect his son to say such things to him.
Yeah.
But I always ask him, you like being around a bunch of naked guys? He's always like, what? I'll be like, nothing, Dad. Nothing, no problem. Because I'm scared to repeat it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think, I think Papa Les got some fast hands still too. So
he do. I am not attempting to,
I
try
actually have a 2-person steam sauna.
Yeah. So you bought that already. You have that.
Yeah. So it's out on the patio. You just fill it up with water and it gives you the good steaming. But it's different than the dry sauna. And I kind of I like the dry sauna better. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, man. Listen. Yeah. There should be a sign that says, have your towel.
Yes.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. But no, that is not my scene.
Well, let's leave that alone and let's move on.
Not my scene.
We're down a hole that I don't see us getting out of, and I don't see a smooth transition into our next guest. So I'm going to go into it.
Yeah, boy, you about to mess that one up. Yeah, good job, my friend.
Usually I can transition into. I can't do it this time.
There was no transition. There's no transition from nakedness. No.
But Manspace Nation, we have a guest today, a man who is deeply rooted into a large living experience. His journey began with an early adoption, separation, and the kind of loss that many men silently carry, which shapes their path. And a lot of times when we go down this path, it's not easy. It's a path that can very easily destroy you. But see, our guest, his voice became so powerful, and he went on to start helping other men to start realizing their experiences and make their way into something that's way more powerful than just depression, but actually living. From silence to honesty to conversation, he is passionate about breaking down the walls that hold men back. Manspace Nation, give it up for our guest, Mr. Mike Elliott. Mike,
what's up, Mike?
Yeah,
good to see you, man.
Yeah,
oh man,
connected you guys.
So
I don't know if I want to sit in the sauna with you guys, but
I was gonna ask you, like, are you a fully clothed?
I don't know.
At least a towel guy.
If you guys come up and visit, it's so normal to be naked, but we don't even do it in the sauna. We're out on the side of the river, and yeah, we're all free balling it up here.
All right. There's a place that's off the bucket list. Too many free balls. I'm just not available for now.
That just gave me like a flashback to my military days. So when we were in AIT, my room, me and my roommates, we would do this thing called Free Ball Friday. And so everybody started getting in on it, right? You just wore no underwear, right? Wait a minute. It was just a little joke that everybody did under their uniform. They wore Free Ball Friday.
In fatigues? Wait, in those old fatigues?
Yes, in the fatigues, yes.
Oh, man.
Free Ball Fridays, yes.
Yeah, they should have called y'all Scarlet Ball Sallies.
But you know what happens after, it depending on which class you were, you either did PT in the morning or you did PT after class. Right?
That's right.
We did PT after class.
Oh,
and so one day, everybody tried to do, and this is like now the whole unit, everybody knows this except for the drill sergeants, that we're all doing it now. Yeah, it was a little rough when you had to do a 5-mile run and you're free balling it.
Absolutely. That's called what do they call that? Road rash city.
Yes. But Mike, let's get out of this conversation and get over to you.
Yeah. So Mike,
tell us a little bit. Share with the Manspace Nation a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. My name's Mike Elliott. For all of you, listeners out there that are new to me, I am a man that loves to support high-performing men to lead from their heart. That's my main mission. I'm a man that grew up conditioned to live from my head, and for so many years I just kept bumping up to problem and challenge just again and again and again. And instead of feeling more empowered in my life, I just ended up feeling more depressed and confused and lost, and then led to me just finding ways to numb out all the pain of not feeling like the man. And no one ever showed me or taught me how important it is to build a relationship with the heart and lead from that place. It's that good old saying that Tony Robbins shares, if you're in your head, you're dead. And I didn't know that. I spent
Right.
most of my younger adult years just living from that place. And the biggest point for me was I couldn't show up in my marriage in the way that I wanted to, and it led to it ending. And that brought me down to my knees. It brought me to such a vulnerable place, realizing how many tools I was lacking as a man, which inevitably inspired me in a direction of I got to figure out a different way. I got to learn from somebody. And, you know, that set me on a whole path to doing my own personal work. And then just over the years of my life exponentially improving and getting better, I just found this place of, I just want other men to experience this, what life is like living from the heart.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
so
when you talk about, when you talk about living from the heart, like, what does that look like from your perspective?
For me, living from the heart means this one thing. This is my partner, Courtney, and I. We have a podcast called The Sacred We. We support couples in what we call sacred relationship, which another way of looking at that is a relationship that thrives, where it feels so good to be connected and in life together as allies. And the work that I do with men specifically is working with their role in that relationship. And the golden rule that we live by is moving at the pace of connection.
Moving at the pace of connection. Okay.
And what I mean by that is it's so easy for us men to move from logic.
Yes.
That's the patriarch. The patriarch is masculine energy that's disconnected from nature. That is the patriarch in simplest form. Masculine energy disconnected from nature. Now, you guys might be listening and wondering, well, what does that mean? Well, this is the place where our masculine energy starts to dominate unconsciously or sometimes consciously. And it's that part of us that's animal and wants power over. And every single one of us has that side. It's called the wild man. You know, and this comes from Robert Bly's work, you know, Iron John, which describes this whole mythical journey of being man. And it goes to that biological truth that we are animal and we are spirit. If we aren't connected to spirit, and practically what that looks like is living from the heart, having the heart lead the head.
Right.
Connected to our nature, the nature that is our biology, our body. The heart is the window to the soul. If we don't learn how to open this thing, we will function from the head. The animal part, the part that is afraid and moving from scarcity and wants power over, trying to live this life that's transactional. And from that place, what does it lead to? Pissed off feminine, because they can't feel their man connected to his own body, can't hold space for her forever changing emotion. So she's pissed. And then the shame that invokes in men, because we all care, we all have sensitive, tender hearts, and we do care. But if we can't show up in our role, if we can't show up for our woman, that bleeds everywhere. Now all this mental bandwidth goes into this place of, God, I'm not enough. What's wrong with me? And then tries to override, push, and conquer. To fill that void.
Wow. So Mike, let's take it back a little bit. You know, your story starts with an early adoption and separation. How did those experiences shape the man you are today?
Oh man, great question. That is the kink in my armor. That is what I call the core wound. Every single one of us.
Yeah, we all have them.
Every single one of us. If you're in a human body, you were wounded. That's my core wound. Being separated from the deepest biological need that we all have, which is a bond to our mother. That was severed day one of me being born.
Wow.
So I was separated from my mom day one and adopted into, or first went into an orphanage, and then my biological grandma adopted me. And then at 14 months, I was adopted again, because within that time of her being my primary care, she got diagnosed with terminal cancer.
Oh, no.
She didn't know how much time she had, so she had to find a new family for me. And so how it shaped me was it created such a deep inner belief that I'm fucked up, or sorry, pardon my French.
Okay.
That I'm messed up and that something is wrong with me. I had such deep-seated insecurities and inadequacies, and I really would do anything to try to not be perceived as weak, because the reality is that severance from my mother did create a weakness. A weakness that I will carry for the rest of my life. Now, with any core wound, I could let it be my weakness by avoiding it and not learning how to build a relationship to it. Or I can transcend it by turning towards it and getting to know everything there is to know about my weakness, so that I don't run and hide from it. And then what that does, which I think every man longs for, is it unlocks something. It unlocks the medicine that is at the seed of every wound. Our deepest wound is our greatest medicine to the world. Because we have to crawl ourselves out of that hole and liberate ourselves. And when we do, that is the thing that becomes our mission. That is the value we have to offer others because we did it. That's our own hero's journey. So how it shaped me is it brought me to my knees, humbled me that this is something I can't get away from. And it's brought me into the work that I've devoted to. And I'm going to do my work as a man, learn how to embrace the weakness and bring my vulnerability to life, to show it's not something we need to hide or run away from. It's something for us to embrace in each other. That's the ultimate freedom.
Wow. That's kind of powerful, man. That's really powerful. And I think a lot of guys need to embrace that thing that's in them, because I always say is, if you don't know something, you're doomed to repeat it. You're going to continue to go through what you go through if you don't get it, so that weakness will stay there, but if you continue to move forward and you learn from it, man, that's just powerful. Now, let me ask you this. Did you ever have the urge to find your birth parents?
Yes, and I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I met my birth mom and my birth father when I was in my early 20s.
Wow. Because it seemed like since your paternal grandmother adopted you, you would have met your mother a lot sooner, assuming that was her mother. You would have met.
So my biological mother, she had a lot of trauma. That woman, reason why I was separated from her in the first place was she was a drug addict, like hard drug addict, crack, heroin. She was raped and abused her whole life from the age of 15 on. And
trauma after trauma,
so many traumas. And so she just wasn't fit to be a mother. And so my biological grandma actually kept me from her and created the buffer in the space as much as possible because she didn't want the damage to be transferred.
Right.
My grandma was the safe place. So she created the barrier and the buffer from what I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rest her soul. That was a beautiful thing to do.
And she seems like she was a very, very strong woman. What values did you pick up from your grandmother?
Oh, man. There's values that I could describe with words, but there's something even deeper that she's taught me that's inspired the whole essence of the work that I do of, guiding as many men as I can in this life to learn how to actually drop down into the heart. She gave me the felt sense and the remembering of what being loved felt like in my body. My grandma was only in my life till I was 5 years old. So she had to place me in a new family when I was 14 months. And she chose a private adoption so that this is the fierce feminine, this is, good mother energy is what I call it. She chose private adoption so that she could stay in my life as long as she was alive. And she ended up living till I was 5.
Nice.
So I have memory of her until I was 5 years old. And you know what's so interesting? And this is no disrespect to the parents that raised me, but those 5 years of being so emotionally met and attuned to while I was developing has created the longest lasting remembering in my body that I am lovable.
Yeah.
Love that.
In a way that extends time and space. Like I was 5. It stopped when I was 5. And the reason that's important is when we get the right relational ingredients, when we get safety, no matter where we are in life, there's a lot of men that are living out dysfunctional patterns because there's something that was missing in those early stages of development.
Right.
But when those ingredients come in, the body can actually integrate all the trauma that happened, which is the misses and the drops and the not being attuned to. Receiving that level of care and attunement, oh man, that's what creates an ability for the body to let go of the things that it carries.
Yeah. Now you said grandma passed away and when you were 5, but how did the new family, the people she chose, how were they? What transpired after that? Because they knew your trauma. They knew your trauma, I should say, and you were probably a little messed up too.
Last man, I was a lot messed up. I wasn't a little messed up. I was a lot messed up.
How did that family deal with you, Mike?
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is they didn't know that I was traumatized. They didn't know. They were oblivious in their world. And this was one of my biggest pain points, and so much love and respect. And anyone listening, asking to hold that love and respect for my parents, because this is more a cultural impact thing. It's not anything in them doing, they're not bad or wrong, but they were oblivious. They were functioning from base survival. And when I entered their world, in their perspective, in their reality, nothing existed before then.
Because they were giving you a clean slate.
They were giving you a clean slate. Yeah.
They were there to love me. And from day one, that's all they know.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything about the depth of trauma that I experienced in a body with a drug addicted mother, raped, abused, like having to go through systems and just not getting breastfed and all these things that are so traumatizing for development.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough awareness to even consider that would be a thing.
Yeah. They probably figured since you were young enough, they got you when you were young enough for you to adapt to them. And I get that, but there has something to be said about that paternal piece, that family piece, that bond is still there and it's still needed at times,
Oh, it's wired in our DNA. You got it, Les. Like it's wired in us to be bonded to where that biological place we came from.
Yeah.
Every adopted person that I've ever met, they can never let down or let go of the idea of meeting their biological parents.
That's going to say, now, is that a mental thing? Sometimes I know we just said it was, that instinct.
Yeah.
Right. But sometimes is that just a head thing? Right. Because some people just want to see.
Yeah.
Just want to know because they've let go of those bonds. Because is it possible, a 6-month-old gets adopted, never meets their paternals, right? Or never is involved with them. And then someone comes along and adopts them and raises them throughout this time. Is it just a mental thing that they have to figure that out? Or you don't have to answer this, but I guess I'm just wondering, is it a mental thing or is it truly a strong pull, a bond?
It's biological. It's biological. I will answer it because it's such a deep truth. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't just start with the parents. The reason this is important is there's something that called healthy right order. Mm-hmm. To be down here, human in a body, there is healthy right order. If we fall out of healthy right order, we create symptoms of dysfunction. Mm-hmm. Healthy right order means, depending on what anyone's belief is, we exist beyond this body, and the beginning of our journey is we come down into a body.
Yeah.
That entry point of when we come into a body is so important because it shapes the whole scene of our life. The themes that we're going to run through and experience over and over and over, so that we can transcend into our God-given gifts and learn how to bring them to humanity. Because when we learn how to do that, this is what's called alignment. We feel whole, complete, satisfied, satiated by life, because we are interdependent species. We are all connected. We are all brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. We're all on this rock hurling through outer space. That's undeniable. Right. We don't even know of another ship out there with life on it.
Yeah.
So if we look at the depth of truth there, the span out big enough, the perspective is we are all family here. But the healthy right order of things is we all come into a certain constellation. Mm-hmm. The ingredients our mother and father have are unique, and they shape how our brain forms. It shapes what genomes, this comes to Bruce Lipton's work, our genomes, which ones get turned on and which ones get turned off. And so there is a biological thirst to stay connected to where we come from and to make sense of where we come from. That's not just our mom and our dad. That's our relationship to God, the universe, what happens when we die. That's biological. That's not just head. It's the heart informing the head, that there is this world down here and there's a world beyond here. And when we learn to straddle both, that's where magic happens.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. You know, we're going to keep rolling through the break here, because this is getting really good. A lot of men tend to struggle in silence. Yeah. And you've been able to break out of the silence for yourself. You know, what kept you going through those tough times? And, you know, when things felt like they were beyond repair?
Well, there's the way that I coped before I realized the limitations of my coping strategies. So I was previously married. So I'm married now in a thriving relationship. Before that, I was married. And in that relationship, I stayed silent, like most men. Mm-hmm. I used coping strategies to try to self-soothe the level of distress that lived inside of me that I couldn't share with the world because I didn't trust anyone. Mm-hmm. I grew up with messages of I'm too sensitive. What's wrong with me? You know, I don't know if you remember terms like this, but just like, I don't know, doing silly things and people like, oh, you're gay, or, oh, you're such a pussy, or just like derogatory terms of just being human, being vulnerable, trying to figure things out. That led to a coping strategy of I'm going to stay silent and eat these words, eat these feelings. And I chose pornography to self-soothe. I chose drugs to self-soothe. And I did that until it didn't work anymore. And that was when my wife walked out the door without me even knowing it or seeing it coming. And then that sobered me. And when I say sobered me, it brought me to a place where I couldn't hide from myself anymore. I'd kept quiet. I've hidden. I've done all the things. And now the love of my life, the person that I was the most afraid to lose, just walked out.
Just walked out. Yeah.
So shoot, this way isn't working. And then something, thank God, activated inside of my heart. And there was just this gut feeling that inspired me into a new way of being. And that is, I need to find someone who can help me. I'm a mess and I need help being put back together. And so I prayed, I spoke to the people that I did know, and I just was real. I was transparent. Man, I messed up. I messed up. I messed up my marriage. I'm now realizing how codependent I was. I've got no friends because I wasn't feeding those. Like, I was just a disaster.
Yeah.
And felt so much shame about it. And I could do the thing that I had done all the years before, which is numb it out, just watch TV, scroll Netflix, smoke pot, drink.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And the moment where I decided and I knew that I couldn't do it anymore is the scariest day of my life, which was the day where I was in my bedroom considering suicide because of looking at my life and being real about it without all the coping strategies. When my wife left, I decided I wouldn't do drugs anymore. I decided to get rid of my TV. And so now I was really feeling, and it was overwhelming because my mind would show me, trauma would show me flash images of ways that I should kill myself. Wow. It wasn't me, Mike. It wasn't the essence of my soul. It wasn't the truth of my heart that would want to do that. But my mind, trauma, was flashing me images of what I should do to get out of this mess, which is a delusion because it doesn't get us out of anything. Yeah. And so I remember an inspiring moment by Oprah when she described her dark night of the soul. And she described her experience where she said she dropped down to her knees, threw her hands in the air, and just said, God, help me. I have no idea what I'm doing. For some reason on that bed, she popped into my heart. And I dropped down to my knees and I said, follow the success of others, follow the clues and just repeat. So I dropped down to my knees. I wasn't a man of God, or I did it. I dropped down to my knees and like, God, I have no idea what I'm doing. Help.
Yeah.
And the moment I did, Shawn Mendes' song came on that said that's the song of It's Not in My Blood. And that song spoke to my soul. It was this journey in the song. The lyrics, if you don't know it, are describing this dark night of the soul, wanting to kill himself, but it's just not in his blood. And it inspired me in such a deep way where I said, okay, apparently, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. I'm ready.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm ready. I've got my notepad, like, just help. 2 days later, a buddy messaged me and he said, I'm sending you a contact. This guy's a soul coach. Dude, just work with him.
Wow.
So I pulled up his website, entered in the information, booked a discovery call. And the second I started talking to this guy, something landed. I felt something I had never felt in the presence of another man before.
Yeah.
And I just knew I was in the right place. I knew this guy was meant to be my mentor, meant to be my guide. And my mind resisted the hell out of it because it was way out of my comfort zone financially. It was this big investment. I had never invested that much in myself. And then I told my friend about it and he's like, dude, look at your life. What do you have to lose? Do it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he was...
That's a good friend right there.
Such a good friend. And I'm glad that he did, because when he did that, my entire life changed from that moment on because of the experience that I had, proximity to a man that was in his heart and that had figured out how to go through those dark places. And what you said at the beginning, Les, is learning how to no longer keep those secrets.
Yeah.
Because shame is what is almost in every man I've ever met. And the nature and the essence and the MO of shame is shame wants us to isolate. Shame wants us to isolate. Its MO is disconnection. But what's confusing is the thing that dissolves shame is connection. It's being seen. It's being heard in the vulnerability of what's in the shame, where someone can experience, me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been there, man. Divorced. Struggled with drugs. Cheated on my partner. And And then all of a sudden, the shame doesn't have anything to grab onto, because human connection is the thing that brings us back into the remembering of truth.
Right.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of stories out there, but go ahead, Russ. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you explain what a soul coach is?
Yeah, so this man's soul coach, it's actually very rooted in the essence of what I do. I'm a relational leadership coach for high performing men. But the essence of where it all started was this. And soul coach, a way to describe it simply is a coach who is done his personal work to integrate his already lived experience so that he can attune to the person in front of him and help bridge their connection to their soul, which is the heart. The heart is the window to the soul.
Yeah.
Dan Siegel's work, he is a brilliant man, and he is, for everyone who's listening who really loves the science of things, Dan Siegel's work, studying the brain, studying what brings us as humans into high levels of health, determine that one thing. Our level of health is determined based off of our capacity to integrate our already lived experience. If we can't integrate what we've already lived, our past is reinforming our present moment. And that's why we play out the same old patterns again and again and again, even though some part of us knows deep down we shouldn't be doing the thing. But we keep doing the thing.
We keep doing it over and over.
Over and over and over, because of the stored information that hasn't integrated and grown up. And the ingredient that's required for us to integrate is relational attunement.
Let's see. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
When we have someone who has presence, think of a moment in your life where you were relating with somebody and they gave you their undivided presence. How good did that feel?
Yeah. Wow.
How good did that feel? That's what I'm talking about. A soul coach is somebody who offers over that level of presence again and again and again, so that healthy healer inside of you can do what it's designed to do, and that's to integrate the life that it's already lived. But it can't happen if there isn't attunement.
Wow. That had me thinking about an experience my wife and I had. We went to a restaurant and we're sitting there and we're looking around at all the other tables, and you see almost every couple was like this. No one was talking, and even down to couples that were probably in their 70s. One half or the other was looking at their phone. And we made a vow that we were never going to be that way. We go out to eat. Even when we're sitting at the dinner table downstairs, our phones are not by us. We try to make that time to where it's undivided attention. And you're right. I mean, that feels so good to be able to look each other in the eye and just be able to talk and understand exactly what the words that are coming out. So, man, I like that. That's deep. And it's very deep.
And you spoke to something there, Russ, just to highlight it feels so good.
Yeah, it does.
When we're aligned in our biological nature and the uniqueness, because we all express different, but when we're in that aligned nature of our own being, the feedback that tells us we are in healthy right order of things is it feels good. That's our compass. That's our GPS, those flashing lights in the side view mirrors that keep us in our lane. It is meant to feel good to be human. And when it doesn't, it's often feedback to get us back into alignment of maybe I should put my phone down. Because my imagining, I don't know about you, but whenever I see that couple out for dinner, they both on their phones, it feels bad in my body just looking at it.
Yes.
I agree 100%. Because my wife and I do the same thing. We do not. When we're at a restaurant, we talk to each other. We laugh, we joke, because this is a time for us to decompress, and we decompress together. You know, that's one thing that we do. We're good at making sure we both are getting that time to decompress, and we talk to each other. This is the time to talk about all the things that we need to talk about, or we want to talk about, right? Not look on our phone and, oh, look at this post, or look at what such and such said. I could care less what any of those idiots on the internet are saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's your woman right there.
Yeah, my phone, we sit down at the table, I take my hat off, and I throw my phone in it. There it is. So if I ever
that's why he ignores all the stuff I send him on social media. Now I know why you respond so late. Okay.
Sorry. I'm a once or twice a dayer. And I get that flack all the time. Somebody's like, I sent you this, I sent you that. I'll be like, oh, hold on, let me look through these 1,000 messages real quick, or post, because I have no clue what you sent me. I look early and I look late. That's it. And it's a wrap for me.
Yeah,
you know what
beautiful.
I mean? Yeah. But listen, Mike, so now that you're helping others transform their lives, you know, and I know you've seen 1,000 men go through changes, you know, is there a common thread or a common denominator, something that you could really pinpoint that says most men go through X?
Yeah, most men go through just for clarity, the one thing that creates the transformation. Yeah. The transformation that is unavoidable is the one that I started with, and that is a man learning how to drop into his heart. Stop functioning from the logical mind and to learn how to live from the heart. Now, the step that every man has to go through in order for that to happen, because you might be thinking, well, Mike, great. What does that even mean practically? How do I use this logical thing that's scanning for the practical execution or the sheet that I can print off and then go do? Because that's how we default. Like, how do we logically make sense of that? The process that has to happen for every man. And I actually worked with a man. I've been working with a man for months now. And one of the sessions that we had today was him on the other side of a huge transformation. It's been months in the making of getting him into his heart, and he's in it now. And he was sharing, expressing tears, because I asked him this one question. I gave him this practice to contemplate himself 3 years from now. Imagine we bump into each other on an airplane and we just happen to be seated next to each other. What would you tell me about the last 3 years of your life that you just lived? The man you became, the things that you accomplished, and how you felt, how you were in your marriage. Tell me that. And then in our session today, he said, honestly, man, what I would tell you on that airplane, it would all begin the moment we started working together. And then he just starts crying.
Wow.
Because he feels how good it feels to be in his body and leading from that place, because it's trickling into all areas of his life. People trust him at work. People want to open up into more vulnerable areas in their life and share. And his wife is happier and more satisfied and gives him reflections of how much she respects him and can see the changes that he's made. The thing that all of them have to do going into that heart piece, they all have to learn how to lead with vulnerability.
Yeah, you gotta lead with that open heart. You gotta
and practice it, because so many men are terrified of vulnerability. I even have to be careful in my copy of what I write to advertise the work that I do, because if it says vulnerability, just reading the damn word, they're out of there.
I'm out of here.
I'm not gonna feel my feelings.
I
gotta go
find
find
somebody. For me. I'm not doing this. Yeah.
I'm going to go find somebody that can give me a workbook.
We're starting to run low on time, but
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your podcast. Yeah. So the Sacred We. Tell us a little bit about the Sacred We.
I'll share a little about the Sacred We, but just to really honor your audience, to really follow this thread that we've been talking about, is the Sacred We it's a brilliant podcast for anyone who's in a relationship that they feel love for their partner, but they want a relationship that thrives, that's juicy. That's the podcast to go check out, because it's both Courtney and I sharing our lived experience, the principles that we live by, that we've learned from going through those crunchy places of going from distant and disconnected to really intimately bonded. Back to that point that I shared of in healthy right order. That's what the Sacred We is. And there's so much more to it, but to stay in contact with what we talked about, in the essence of work that I do, it's really about learning how to become the man that life can feel. Being the man that your wife can feel. Because a man who's in his heart attracts abundance, attracts opportunities, attracts meaningful relationships, attracts people who wants to help and support the mission and the vision, attracts the good qualities from the partner, the ones that we all long for, the one where she does validate and appreciate what we do offer and what we do provide. That comes from a man who's in his heart. And so what I'd really want to share is, for anyone that's listening and they feel a resonance to what's been shared already, I have this challenge that I do, or I'm just starting. It's called the Man She Can Feel Challenge. And my first one is April 27th. It's a 5-day paid challenge. And on each day, I'm going to hit one of the most intimate pieces that give men an experience, not just a worksheet, not just some information, not a book to read, but an experience of what it actually feels like to be in here, to be in the heart, and then bring that back into life, into relationship.
Awesome.
Wow. Awesome. Now, where can they find out more about the challenge? And
so the challenge,
go ahead and share your socials as well, if you don't mind.
So the challenge is, you can just type in themanshecanfeel.com, and that'll take them right to a landing page that shows when the next date is, and you can get your tickets there. And it's limited spots, and that's the easiest way to find it. I can share the link with you. And then social handles, Mike Elliott, MikeElliott.DML, .relating. Mike Elliott .relating. And that's for Instagram.
Awesome. Because I think we just started following you as well on social media. So we'll definitely connect up and stay in touch. But I definitely have one last question for you, and it is called The Last Word.
And now, The Last Word.
So, Mike, I am going to wave my magic wand, which I don't have in front of me at the moment, but I'll just wave my magic wand. You can go back to your younger self. What advice would you give your younger self right now?
What age younger self?
Let's say 14-year-old you. I stumped him.
This is great, man. No, this is great. This is it. So anyone listening, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually tuning into the wisdom of my heart. My head has an answer right away, but I really want to feel the answer to this one because it's a big one. And what comes from there is 14-year-old self. What he really would have needed to hear is one thing, but he also would have needed to feel something. I wouldn't just tell him something. I would have pulled him into my arms and given him the biggest hug. And I would have held him in my arms, and I'd say, man, your sensitivity is the thing that I love the most about you. Don't ever let anyone take that from you.
Man, that's probably the best answer I've ever had to that question.
Yeah, it kind of gave me goosebumps, honestly. Because do you know how many 14-year-olds need exactly that right now to this day? Just
you're right about that.
All of them.
Hug them. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That is crazy. So, Mike, definitely we appreciate you spending time with us here on the Man Space. This has been tremendous. I mean, we just scratched the surface because this conversation was getting really good. We're gonna have to find time to get you back in here so we can continue this conversation. And Man Space Nation, make sure you go and check out the website, check out the Sacred We as well. You know, subscribe to it and follow it and listen to the episodes because it's gonna be some powerful information. Mike Elliott, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Greatly appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, man. Such a pleasure. Thanks for connecting. Appreciate you all.
Oh, we appreciate you.
All right. As we do each week, we like to close the show with just a little bit of inspiration. When you think about the word rebuilding, it isn't about going back to who you were. It's about becoming stronger, wiser, and more honest than you ever were before. You see, at some point, life knocks everyone down. Plans fall apart. Trust gets broken, and the path forward just feels unclear. In those moments, it's easy to believe that damage defines you, but it doesn't. What defines you is what you choose to do next. A lot of times, rebuilding starts quietly. It's the small decisions, showing up when it's hard, telling the truth when it's uncomfortable, taking one step forward when you'd rather just lay in the bed. It's not fast, it's not perfect, but it's real. You don't have to have everything figured out, not right now. You just need to begin. Piece by piece, day by day, you create something new. And one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just recover. You built a life with deeper meaning, stronger foundations, and a clearer sense of who you really are. So, Manspace Nation, no matter how broken things feel, nothing is beyond repair if you're willing to do the work. Until next time.
That's right, brother. Go get that hard hat and tool belt. Right?
Got to be willing to do the work, man.
You got to be willing to do the work, man. Put the work in, because nothing will ever get done if you don't put the work in.
You know, and I think so many times that when we go and try to rebuild, we always try to be who we was, and we're never going to.
Yes, you're not changing nothing if you continue to build who you were.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I can sit there and go to the gym and and get an 8-pack back and do all that stuff, but I ain't gonna be able to do everything that I used to do when I was 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. No matter,
so,
how you look.
No matter how. So I can't do those things anymore. So you just gotta keep moving forward and just understand it one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time.
Yeah, and that's important. As my daddy would say, be like Chevrolet. Shove one foot and lay the other.
Front of the other. Oh, lay the other. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
One lay the other. Chevrolet.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yep.
That's it. Yep. You got to be a Chevrolet sometime, man. Make it happen, baby.
Yeah. My dad used that when I told him I wanted a car. He says, "Yeah, you got that Chevrolet." I'm too sure.
That's where I got it from too, but I just adapted. I rolled it all over, used it for my purposes. It works.
It works. Oh, boy. Man Space Nation. You know what happens every Monday night, WTMSTV.com. You catch this episode and every new episode of the Manspace podcast on Monday nights, 2 days early before it gets released to the rest of the world, WTMSTV.com. Then on Thursday nights, it's Throwback Thursdays with back-to-back episodes of the Manspace podcast starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Hoorah.
Man, I got to throw this plug in there. I am recording this weekend an episode, the Meditations podcast. I'll be on the Meditations podcast coming up on an upcoming episode. Looking forward to that one. That's with Dr. Gregory Olbert. So more details to come when that gets released. We'll make sure that we share that with the Manspace Nation. Yeah. And that's all I got, Les.
Hey, man, I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to be chilling, man. I'm going to have a grill going this weekend, bro. You know?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet, but it looks like it's going to be some yard bird and some, you know, and some pigs, you know.
Where's my
all hooved animals over here, brother. You don't eat hooved animals. So I you know, listen, this is a hooved animal throwdown. Okay. Little beef, little pork, some chicken. You know what I mean?
I can always make room for chicken now.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it's a beaked animal.
That's a beaked animal. It's not hooved.
It's got claws. But anyway, that's how I'm getting down. Barbecue sauce, hot sauce. You know, I might even fire up the fry. Throw some aquatic creatures in there. You know. See,
that's why you're gonna be frolicking this weekend since you didn't give me my invite.
I like the little wings, the little capes and shit. You know, I'm gonna ask my wife, can she make me one of those?
All right. And on that note,
we out of here frolicking.
No gimmicks, just game that my sure in sight. They shine like the city on a Friday night. Man talk, real talk, that's the way that you bless. Giving knowledge and some laughs in the same finesse. From life goes to the jokes that hit. They the tag team champs, yeah, legit with the wit. So pull up a chair, let the stress digest. From the beat drops, you know the rest. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. You go chillin' with Russ and Les. Now you vibing with nothing but the best. Manspace forever.
I'm still frolicking. Still frolicking? I'm still frolicking.